You're listening to Episode 4 of the Fearless English Podcast. Welcome to the Fearless English Podcast, where it's all about helping you confidently communicate with anyone without compromising who you are. Let's get started, Fearless Learner. Hello, Fearless Learner. This week, we're focusing on how to improve your listening skills. Now, I'm not going to share many different tips for you because I want you to focus on how you can take action rather than let me learn all the different ways to improve my listening skills. So I'm going to be sharing 3 different ways you can either improve your listening skills or help you be able to listen and understand what the person in front of you is saying. So the way I have been taught to teach listening skills is it's sort of like a test. So I allow the student to listen 2, 3, 4 times, and they listen and answer the questions. Now, if they don't hear the answer, maybe I will give them a chance to listen one more time, but that's it. They don't get to practice actually listening. So the first tip I want to focus on is what is the difference between testing your listening and actually practicing? And I'll tell you what the difference is. The first way is that it is testing your comprehension. Are you able to notice the details in what the person is sharing? Are you able to notice what the conversation was about? And so on. Now, that, of course, it has its own function. And yes, you're going to need to practice that, especially if you're doing exams and if you want to check your progress. Testing is absolutely essential. But what I'm trying to say here is that if you want to improve your listening skills, you're going to have to listen and repeat. So listening and repeating is something that is not, I haven't seen many teachers use this method, and it's something that is important. So what you do is you're listening to a podcast, let's say, and you are listening, and then you hear a specific area which for the life of you, you have no idea what the person is saying. So then you just skip it and keep going, and you feel bad about yourself. And so what I'm saying is don't do that. Go back, listen to it again. That is the best part. That's the part that's actually going to get you to improve your listening. Go back to the parts that you do not hear, you can't comprehend, you can't understand. Go back and listen to it again and again and again. And an activity you can do afterwards to check your understanding, to check that you've heard everything the way you thought you heard it, is to use transcripts. So try to find out if the podcast that you're listening to has a transcript. We're going to be rolling those out in July, but TED Talks, they all have transcripts. So if you listen to TED Talks, if you go to TED Talks, they have transcripts already embedded into their, web pages. They're right under the video, there's transcripts. So check to see if you've understood everything the person has said. So make sure that you, first of all, you're listening and repeating and listening and repeating. And then to check if you feel like, to check to see if you've understood, you can use transcripts to do that. The next problem students face is they always tend to focus on one specific accent because they feel like this is the accent that they want to acquire, that they want to get. So what do? They always end up listening to the British accent. Oh, I love the British accent, so that's the only accent I'm going to listen to. And what is the problem with this? So, if you want to do this, it's fine, no problem. But if you want to improve your listening skills, you're gonna have to listen to different types of accents. And I'm not just talking about Australian, British, American, the usuals. I'm talking about all different types of accents. The majority of people that speak English have different accents from all over the world. So it will benefit you to expose yourself to different types of accents. Many students will go and do the IELTS exam, for example, and they will encounter a different type of accent and they get shocked and they're like, wait, but I've only practiced with this specific accent. I didn't know that it would, I would get another accent. I have no idea what this person is saying. And they will feel bad and they will think that, okay, it's me. I don't understand. I can't understand what this person is saying. My listening skills, there's something wrong with it. And the only thing that is wrong in this situation is that either teachers or students themselves seem to focus on a specific accent or way of speaking. And this doesn't help at all. In fact, it hinders your listening progress. It hinders you, seeing any sort of improvement in your listening. All right. So then we're going to go to the third one, which is going to help you become a better listener. So just before you listen, I want you to predict what the person is going to say. This is specifically when you are about to do a listening test. So if it's about food, try to guess what the person's going to say. Prediction is something we naturally do, but practice doing it, especially if you feel scared, you don't know what the person is saying, by just allowing yourself a few seconds to think, well, this person's probably going to talk about this thing and this thing and this thing. It allows your brain to be ready for the conversation or for the listening test that you're about to do. So those are the 3 things I would definitely recommend you start doing from now on, which is number 1, listen, repeat, use transcripts to check your listening comprehension. Number 2, expose yourself to different types of accents. And the last one is to predict what you're going to hear. Well, there you go, Fearless Learner. I hope that you found this episode helpful. If you did, please make sure you subscribe to this channel and share this episode with a friend. And I'll see you next week with another episode. Hello, if you enjoy listening to this podcast, you have to come and check out the Female Language Academy. It's my monthly membership for women where I provide lessons to help students develop their English fluency. All you have to do is go to www.blackboardenglish.com/FLA. That's www.blackboardenglish.com/FLA. See you in class.